All right, here we go. Um, I just got out of a great meditation. It was fantastic. One of which my partner and we were talking about it the other day. And energy really is everything. Energy is everything. Once you understand that, and you look at yourself, and you look at your thoughts, you look at your feelings, you look at your behaviors, everything about life and your life starts to make sense. And I just think it's so interesting because here's how it works. Right? You grow up conditioned by a very specific way of thinking, feeling, and behaving, right? And so basically what you have to do is you have to recondition your body, or I should say decondition, out of it, getting yourself out of the stuff that's not beneficial for you, because until you get yourself out of the program, you are in a program. I mean, regardless of what it is, you're going to be in a program, but that program is either going to be helpful for you or it's going to be a hindrance. You're always attracting, regardless of what. I mean, that's just the way that we are. Like, our energy dictates what it is that is brought into our lives. So, it's really that simple. We are being, if we're not aware of what's going on in here and our energy, our being, right? If we're not aware of that, um, I mean, we're bringing into our life based on that. So that's just the way that that works. But the very pursuit, the very journey of kind of like consciously, catching myself is very interesting. It's cool to see how everything is just kind of like I'm now at a point where like I'm catching myself left and right. And it's cool because it's going to be the other way unless I do this. And so my intention is to, move beyond that and not really, get stuck in that stuff. That's what's important for me. Again, it's a thing, it's a kind of like, it's a pursuit of overcoming. That's what this is all about. This is all about getting beyond this, right? So, like, for instance, if the program of this is running with belief systems of lack, of a worthless piece of shit that doesn't deserve anything good, overcoming that looks like getting beyond that and seeing like, oh wow, never mind, that actually came from my parents. That has nothing to do with me, and that wasn't even their shit. But like seeing it like as like, oh, that wasn't even their shit. It's not your place. It's not your responsibility. All you need to do is recognize, oh wow, that's not me. That's not who I am. I'm not a worthless piece of shit. And that's the thing too. Like being very careful here. Like even when you like say that stuff, like oh like like looking closer at your belief systems, the subconscious mind is eavesdropping. So you need to be aware of like what it is that you're saying. It's gonna catch on to everything. It's that serious. And the people that don't take it that seriously, or the people that don't take it serious enough, are the people that end up getting stuck inside of the low energy thinking, the low energy feeling, the low energy behaviors that just bring into their life what it brings into their life. And I can tell you that the stuff that it brings into their life is not fun. It's the reason that they're like constantly complaining. Right? You'll never find somebody who has low energy consistently who is bringing, bullshit into their life, just like out there jolly as fuck. Just no, it doesn't exist. So if you find yourself as somebody who is consistently unhappy, there's a reason that you're unhappy. You need to understand that reason, but you also need to understand that deconditioning yourself away from that and overcoming the thoughts, the feelings, the behaviors, the belief systems, all that stuff is what gets you to the new self, right? There's going to be a new self here, and there's going to be an old self, right? And catching yourself, like say for instance, if you find yourself as somebody who either forgets things or puts things off to the last minute, right? Um, you know, uh, let's use this for instance. Um, if you are somebody who puts things to the last minute, right? Which is a terrible habit to get into. Why? Because that can cause a lot of stress, right? The very act of not planning as necessary, like if you, for instance, if you have a month to plan something, and you wait until the last week to do it, you've therefore taken away 3 weeks that you could have had worth of time to do something. But because you're used to seeing things as overwhelming when you approach them, guess what? You gave up 3 weeks, and now you only have 1 week. I don't know how that doesn't... It's just like, I look at that kind of stuff, and it's like the logistics behind this stuff is very interesting to me. So just catching yourself, no, I'm somebody who is, proactive instead of reactive. I take action right away. And that's going to bring you a very specific outcome, right? In every sense of the word, in every way of life. That's just the way that it is. Being consistent, doing things right when they arise rather than putting them off. Not one single thing, not one single good thing, here we go, not one single good thing has ever come from putting things off, ever. Not one single, like, if you have an entire month to plan something, and you wait until the very last week, not one single good thing will ever come from that. That's just a fact. I don't care how it makes you feel. I don't care if it's like, oh, but I'm extra motivated now. Okay, well, you could have had 3 extra weeks to do something about it, and you didn't. Like, there's always benefit to overcoming the bullshit that limits you. There's always and only ever going to be benefit. So, yeah, just stopping yourself in the moment. For me, what I'm doing a lot recently is just catching myself. I find myself catching myself almost every single hour of the day. Just like, nope, that's the old self. Okay, so what's the new self? Oh, the new self is, I'm going to do this now instead of tomorrow. Is there something that I can do about it now instead of an hour from now? Is there something that I can do about this today instead of tomorrow? Just like... And of course, it's also challenging because a lot of people are very used to just not doing it, right? But again, not doing it's not going to get you there. It's only going to get you more of the same thing that you've already experienced that you're trying to get away from. It's funny. It's funny. But, yeah, so, again, your personality creates your personal reality. Your personality consists of how you think, how you feel, and how you act. If you are somebody who thinks that you're a worthless piece of shit, you feel based on that, and you act based on that, which, of course, acting based on that is going to be very limiting because you have a limiting belief system, so it's going to limit you to, okay, you don't get the gold, you get the fucking copper, right? It's just like, you're living with a fucking filter, a filter that's showing you a fucking illusion. It's showing you the illusion that you're a worthless piece of shit when you're not. So yeah, you can change your thoughts, you can change your feelings, and you can change your behaviors. Change all 3 of those, and you get to experience life in a very different way. That's cool. So that's really what it's all about. That's where I'm at now. Just constantly just correcting myself. Because that's how change happens. It's not going to happen any other way. You have to consciously, stop yourself, be like, oh, wait, no, that's the old self, never mind. Okay, the new self, yeah. The new self takes care of things right away. The new self is worthy regardless, right? The new self can create whatever the new self wants to. The new self does not care about other people's opinions. The new self is worthy just for being who the new self is. These kinds of things. Like, it's so simple. Really, the biggest challenge here is kind of just like, okay, correcting. Just, that's it. Just over and over again. No. Redirecting, just kind of like that. So, yeah, it's a cool journey. I'm excited. Feeling is one of the biggest things here. Because you could think something, and then your body will be like, nope. Right? Thought, right? Body. Thought. I am so worthy, for instance, right? Body. Ha. Just like that, right? Like, who are you kidding, right? So it's interesting. Once you get the feeling states down, But the feeling states come from seeing things in fine detail for what they are and where they came from. Like, for instance, you know, not actually being a worthless piece of shit. Okay, well, where did that belief system come from? Oh, parents. Okay, not my shit. Okay, cool. That's cleared up. Now what do we do? So you are worthy. Oh, cool. And just for being you. Oh, cool. Wonderful. And just go from there. Just, you know, kind of like getting the smoke and mirrors out of the way. That's all. So, yeah.